Whether you're buying or selling a home in the St. Louis area, the inspection process is one of the most important steps in the entire transaction. And honestly, it's one of the most stressful if you don't know what to do. I'm Spencer Argueta with Elevate Realty, and today we're breaking down everything you need to know about home inspections in St. Louis. We're talking about the different types of inspections and what they cover, what inspectors are actually looking for, and how it plays out in a traditional sale versus an as-is sale, and what your rights and options are as both sellers or buyers. So let's get into it. A home inspection is a visual examination of a property's condition performed by an inspector. It is not a pass or fail test. It is not a government-required appraisal. It is a professional opinion about the current condition of the home at the time of the inspection, or as you would, a single snapshot at the time of the inspection. In Missouri, many inspectors have professional certifications through ASHI or INTERNACHI. These are minimum standards of practice that they must follow, but not every inspector is created equal. When you hire an inspector, you want to make sure you have one with experience and a strong local reputation, as well as having reports that are easy to read, full of pictures that will help guide you and ultimately the seller and their agent. Now, here's some things to understand right up front. There are multiple types of inspections. The general home inspection is just a starting point, and depending on the property you're purchasing, you might have or need several more. Now, here's something important to understand right up front. There are multiple types of inspections. The general inspection is just the starting point, and depending on the property you're buying or selling, the buyer might need just the general or many more inspections on top of it. It is the buyer's choice what they choose to do. The general home inspection, this is the big one, the foundation of the entire inspection process. The inspector does a visual review of the home's roof and attic, the foundation, the electrical and plumbing systems, the HVAC system, including insulation and ventilation, doors, windows, the exterior, walls and ceilings and floors. They look at it all. In St. Louis, a general inspection typically is going to run from 2 to 4 hours, maybe longer depending on the size of the home. And cost ranges usually from about $300 to $500 or more. I like to think about the general inspector like your general doctor. He has a broad knowledge about many topics, and if he's seeing lots of issues in specific areas, he might recommend you see a specialist to look at that specific item further. The sewer inspection. This is a big one in St. Louis, and I mean literally a big one. St. Louis has a lot of older housing. Many of the homes in the city and even in the suburbs have clay or cast iron sewer lateral lines that are decades old. And we have very big trees. A sewer scope sends a camera through the lateral line. That's the line that runs from inside your house out to the main sewer main. Inspectors are looking for tree root intrusion, cracks, breaks, or separations in the pipe. Sewer repairs in St. Louis can range from anywhere from a few $1,000s for spot repairs to $10,000, $20,000 plus for a full replacement. While inspections are optional, please get a sewer scope. Then, radon testing. Radon is a naturally occurring radioactive gas that comes in from the decay in soil and rock. It enters through the house's cracks in the foundations, gaps around pipes, and other openings. In Missouri, and specifically St. Louis, there are areas where the elevated radon levels can affect health. The EPA recommends mitigation of homes testing at 4 picocuries per liter or higher. Testing typically involves placing a passive canister in the lowest livable area of the home for 48 hours. That collects air samples hourly, and this inspection costs usually $100 to $200. If the radon levels come back high, a radon mitigation system, typically costing between $800 and $1,500 in the area, can help reduce the levels significantly. The next inspection, termite and pest inspections. This inspection covers termites, carpenter ants, powder post beetles, and wood-destroying fungi. In Missouri, the wood-destroying inspection must be performed by a licensed pest inspector, not just an inspector. Many lenders, especially for VA loans, require a clear termite letter before closing. The cost of this inspection is usually around $75 to $150. Chimney and fireplace inspections. St. Louis has no shortage of homes with fireplaces and chimneys, and they're not always in the best of condition. A level 2 chimney inspection performed by a certified chimney sweep uses a camera to inspect the interior flue. Inspectors are looking for cracks or sprawling in the flue liner, deteriorated mortar in the bricks, blockages from debris or animal nesting, damaged or missing chimney caps. Chimney repairs can range from a few $100s to several $1,000s for a full relining. If you're going to buy or you're selling a home that has a pool or a spa, be prepared for a pool and spa inspection. The general inspector will typically note the visible conditions and expected to evaluate the pool equipment and its systems in depth. The pool inspector will look at the equipment from the pump, filter, heater, and automation systems. They'll look at structural conditions for cracks or shells in the decking, plumbing and electrical components, and the safety equipment like the drain, the covers, and the fencing around the pool. Another important inspection could be foundation and structural inspections. If the general inspector flags conditions or concerns around the foundation or the structure of the property, a structural engineer might be brought in. This is not the same as the home inspector. A licensed structural engineer can assess whether cracks or bowing walls or settlement are just cosmetic or truly a structural concern. They can provide a repair plan and even a cost estimate. This is especially important in St. Louis, where we have heavy clay soil that can cause the foundation to move over time. Mold inspections. Mold, you're probably going to find everywhere. So going beyond and doing a mold inspection can be important. A mold inspector takes air samples and sometimes surface samples to identify the type and even the concentration level of mold spores present. This becomes particularly relevant when there's a known history of water intrusion or flooding in a home. You notice some musty odors. There's visible stains or evidence of mold in the property. The home's been vacant for an extended period of time, or maybe someone in your family has sensitivities. St. Louis, with its older homes and especially brick style ones, can be particularly prone to moisture issues. Doing air quality tests in fully renovated homes is particularly a wise decision. While everything might look beautiful, there could be mold spores that linger that could spread over time, leading to increased mold when you go to sell your property. In St. Louis, in a traditional sale, the buyer typically has an inspection contingency written into their contract. This gives them the right to conduct inspections within a set time frame, review the results, and negotiate for repairs, credits, or even price reductions. If they're not satisfied with the results of those findings, they can completely walk away. Our contract, it makes it a first look. The inspection could be perfect, which they never are, and they could still choose to walk should they desire. If they choose to negotiate, now you as a seller are going to come to the table and have further discussions. For buyers in a traditional sale, my advice is please don't skip the inspection just to be more competitive. Some buyers waive their inspection contingency in a hot market, and I can understand that pressure, but you need to understand the risk. You could be buying a home with serious undisclosed issues and no recourse after closing. The inspection report does not mean you ask for everything. Normal wear and tear, cosmetic issues, or older functioning systems, these are expected in a used home. Rather, focus your attention on safety issues, major systems nearing the end of life, water intrusion or moisture problems, and structural concerns. For sellers in a traditional sale, the best thing you can do is keep up with the care of your home from the get-go. But now you're selling, so let's handle known maintenance issues or repairs ahead of time. Consulting with your realtor about common issues will help you focus on what really matters. Being proactive will allow you to address issues on your timeline and your price point instead of scrambling during the inspection period in your contract, when a buyer is watching you and your negotiation leverage is lower. Sellers are also required in the state of Missouri to complete disclosures, which require you to disclose material defects upfront, which is going to protect you legally. Again, disclose, disclose, disclose what you know. Missouri law requires it, and it protects you after closing. Making sure the buyer is informed to make an appropriate offer is going to help things do better. So now that you've got your inspection reports back, what happens? First, don't panic. Every inspection report looks scary. Even brand new construction homes have issues on inspection reports. Review it with your agent. That's what we're here for. In a traditional sale, you'll typically have a few options. 1, move forward with no questions. 2, terminate, or ask for repairs or credits. In a traditional sale, you typically have a few options. 1, move forward, no questions asked, you're completely satisfied. 2, walk away from the transaction because you no longer want to purchase the home. Or 3, choose to negotiate with the seller. Your contract will dictate how long that negotiation window with the seller is. My recommendation is almost always push for credit rather than asking the seller to make repairs. When sellers make repairs, you don't always know the quality of the work or even who did it. A credit puts the money in your hands so you can hire your own contractor after closing and make sure that those repairs are done to your specific standard. For sellers, receiving a repair request, review it carefully with your agent before responding. Not everything on the inspection report is a legitimate repair request. Some items are for informational purposes, some are for buyers' preferences. Focus on what's reasonable and material. Because I work specifically in the St. Louis metro area, I want to give you a quick overview of what inspectors commonly find here so you're not surprised. This is not meant to scare you, it's meant to inform you. Foundation movement. St. Louis has expansive clay soil that swells when wet and shrinks when dry. The seasonal movement causes cracks, settlement, and in some cases, even bowing in basement walls. Not all foundation cracks are serious, but they should all be evaluated. Older electrical systems. Many of our St. Louis homes, particularly in the city or older suburbs, have older 100 amp service panels, maybe knob and tube wiring or fuse boxes that don't meet current standards. Or it could be one of 3 major panel systems that were recalled in the late 70s. These are common issues that can affect insurance or even financing. The sewer line deterioration. As I mentioned earlier, this is a big one. Clay pipe sewer lines are common in older parts of the metro area, with root intrusion and mature trees being extremely common. Always scope a sewer. Chimney and fireplace issues. Many St. Louis homes have brick chimneys that have not been regularly maintained. Deterioration of flue liners and mortar joints can cause fire hazards and even carbon monoxide hazards. HVAC age and condition. HVAC systems have a typical lifespan of 15 to 20 years. Many homes in the market have systems that are at or even beyond that age. Inspectors will note the age, the condition, and whether servicing is current. Water intrusion in basements. Basements are a staple in St. Louis homes, and wet basements are one of the most common issues inspectors find. Sources including grading problems or failed sump pumps, cracks in walls, and improper downspout discharges could be culprits of wet basements. In closing, the inspection process is not something to fear, it's information, and information is power. Whether you're buying a home and trying to understand what you're purchasing, or a seller who's preparing their house for the market, inspections help put you in a much stronger position. If you've got questions about buying or selling in St. Louis, I would love to connect. Drop a comment below or send me a DM. If this video helped you, hit the like and subscribe button, and I'm Spencer, and I'll see you in the next one.